liquidity ratios. How to calculate this? Before calculating this, let us take the formula how to calculate this. Everyone note down these ratio formulas. So current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. Okay, so here division is missing. So this ratio, when you calculate this, you will be getting a particular result, no? So that result should be minimum 2:1. This is an ideal ratio, we will call it as 2:1. So this is an good ratio of current assets and current liabilities. So if it is less than this ratio, that will give you that it is not satisfactory. The ratio between the current assets and current liabilities is not satisfactory. So you have to interpret like that by comparing the ideal ratio. So always the current assets should be double than the liabilities. Here assets are nothing but the properties of the company, and liabilities are nothing but the borrowed one, or that the company needs to pay. Okay. So here current assets means in short period. Short period, what are the available properties of the company is, and within short period, how much amount that the company needs to pay to the outsiders is current liabilities. Okay. So all this includes short period assets and short period liabilities. What comes under the current assets and what comes under the liabilities, that list I will give you here. So current assets includes all these items, that is stock or sometimes it is called as inventory, or sometimes it may be called as finished goods. Some stock includes all these finished goods, semi-finished goods, work in process. So finished goods means completed, after complete production is done, process is done. That is called as finished goods. Semi-finished means after the raw material was processed for some period, and in between certain output will be obtained, and it needs some more process to get the final product. So such material, after half part or some part of the process is done, that is called as what? Semi-finished good. Okay. And raw materials, raw material is nothing but the material that is used for producing the a particular product. So all these three things, and work in process. Work in process means some material will be in processing. It is not under the semi-finished, or it is not under the finished goods. Still, it is at the machinery. It is under the process of producing the product. So all these four items will come under the stock. Okay. So if you see any of this, you add as an stock under current assets. Or it may be sometimes called as stock, is also called as what? Inventory. So these names you must keep in your mind. And debtors. Debtors means, who are debtors means, here any product that was sold on credit to the customers. Like the companies are paying certain giving EMI facility to the customers, no? So all those customers who have purchased on EMI basis comes under the debtors of the company. Okay. So they need to pay the amount, but they will be given certain time period, no? So after that time period only, that amount will be collected, right? So that is the property of the company itself. That amount belongs to the company itself. So that is included in this current assets. So that will be recovered within 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, or within 1 year, no? Within 1 year period, they are going to collect. So because of that, it is included in the current assets. So within short period, whatever you need to recover, all those comes under this current assets. And bills receivables. Sometimes bills will be issued by the customers. So these debtors, for example, debtors has purchased the product. So they are going to give you certain bill, but through bank they want to pay certain amount like that. So certain bills will be given by them. So that will be holding certain time period to get back that amount, which is mentioned in the bills. So such bills comes under this bills receivables. Receivables means nothing but which should be received in near future. All the bills which should be received in near future comes under the bills receivables. And cash at bank. In bank, a certain amount will be there which is related to the company, no? Like a savings account or whatever. So they are going to have an account in the bank. So whatever the amount that is there in that bank account of the company, that comes under the bank, cash at bank. Cash in hand. That means the company is going to hold certain cash. So all those comes under this cash in hand. Prepaid expenses. Sometimes without the last date, some amount will be paid to the company. For example, if I have purchased a product on EMI basis, even if I have not reached the last date of payment, I will be paying the amount to the company. So I am a debtor to the company, no? So all those should be included here. Sorry, all those comes under the prepaid incomes. And prepaid expenses means the company has borrowed certain amount from the suppliers, a certain amount of raw materials from the suppliers. So they need to pay the amount to the suppliers. But still the last date is not reached. The company is going to pay to the suppliers within the last date period, within the payment period. So which is early paid. So such comes under this prepaid expenses. And income yet to be received. Income yet to be received means still it is not yet received. So within 1 day or 2 days, some amount will be received, no? So such amount will be included in this income yet to be received, or we can say that it is outstanding income. Other name of income yet to be received is outstanding income. And marketable securities. Sometimes the company will be investing in the shares of any company. So which will be within short period, which will be liquidated, which will be converted into the cash whenever the company requires that. If excess of amount is there with the company, idle amount is there, so that amount will be invested in this marketable securities. So which can be converted within a short period into cash. So all those comes under this current assets. So this is the list you have to remember. And current liabilities. So what are the list that comes under the current liabilities? Creditors, as I said, suppliers who are going to supply the material to the company on credit. అప్పుగా ఇచ్చిన సప్లయర్స్ అందరూ క్రెడిటార్స్ కిందకి వస్తారు. అప్పుగా కొనుక్కున్న వాళ్ళందరూ మన దగ్గర కంపెనీ నుంచి ప్రోడక్ట్ కొనుక్కున్న వాళ్ళందరూ డెటార్స్ కిందకి వస్తారు. ఇది మెయిన్ గా మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలమ్మా. అసెట్స్ లోకి వస్తుందా లయబిలిటీస్ లోకి వస్తుందా అనేది ఇక్కడే కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారు స్టూడెంట్స్. అండ్ బ్యాంక్ ఓవర్ డ్రాఫ్ట్. బ్యాంక్ ఓవర్ డ్రాఫ్ట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు బ్యాంక్ లో సమ్ అకౌంట్ ఇస్ దేర్ నా ఇన్ బ్యాంక్. సో ద బ్యాంక్ విల్ బి గివింగ్ యూ సర్టన్ అమౌంట్ మోర్ దాన్ ద అమౌంట్ దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ యువర్ బ్యాంక్ అకౌంట్. For example, if you are having 10,000 in your bank account, the company account, the banker, if the banker is going to allow the company to draw more than this 10,000, whatever the amount that is drawn more than this 10,000, that will come under this bank overdraft, which is a liability, which should be liable to pay to the banker. Okay. So liability is nothing but the company which should be paid to the outsiders. Liable to be paid. Liability. Okay. I think I am clear to you. If you are having any doubt, you in between ask me now itself. Okay. And outstanding expenses. Outstanding means this sometimes what happens, even the last date is reached, the company is unable to pay the expenditures like salaries, if salaries is there. So they will be delaying for 1 more month or 15 days, like that delay will be there, no, done by the company. So all those comes under this outstanding expenses. Expenses may be salaries, expenses may be rent, whatever, that should be paid. So if it is pending, that comes under this outstanding expenses. Bills payable. So as from outside we are receiving certain bills, no. So in the same manner, the company will be issuing certain bills to the outsiders, like creditors or whoever. So that is needed to be paid to the outsiders, no. So if it is issued, the bill is issued instead of cash payment. So all those comes under this bills payable, which should be paid, which should be bills which should be paid, comes under the bills payables. If any short-term loans the company is going to get, short-term loans means within 1 year period, which should be paid. So comes under this short-term loans. All those will be included in this current liabilities. I think I am clear that all the main current assets and main current liabilities was listed out here. Okay, so if you see that to identify the current ratio, first of all you identify what are the current assets list that was given in the problem first thing. So after identifying the current assets, you sum up these amounts which was given under each current asset list. Okay. For example, stock 100 or 1 lakh is given, means that 1 lakh. Debtors, if 50,000 is there, means 1 lakh plus 50,000, like that you go on adding. Then you will get the total current assets. Okay. In the same manner, you do the current liabilities. Let us do a problem, then only you can understand. So am I clear that how the formula can be applied here and what comes under this current assets and current liabilities? Any doubts here? So current ratio is also called as what? Working capital ratio. If you see that calculate working capital ratio, don't get confused. That is nothing but current ratio. So you must be familiar with the other names. Only that is required here. Everyone should be familiar with the other names. And coming to the second liquidity ratio is quick ratio. No? So how this is calculated? Quick assets divided by current liabilities. Okay. Quick ratio ante quick assets gurtupettukondi, divided by current liabilities. Denominator is same for both the formulas, only the numerator is changing. If it is current ratio, current assets will come in numerator. If it is quick ratio, quick assets will come. Denominator is same for both the ratios, that is current liabilities. So students will be getting confusion here itself. Sometimes they will be writing as quick current liabilities by quick assets, like that. Don't do that. So quick assets, how you are going to get? As we have seen all the current assets, no? So you sum up that, deduct from that. Already while calculating current ratio, you will sum up that. You need not go and pick each and every thing that comes under the current assets. You deduct the stock and prepaid expenses from the total list of the current assets. That will give you quick assets. And current liabilities, I need not give you again here. The list already I have mentioned there. So the ideal ratio of this quick ratio is 1:1. Okay. You have to compare that result with the result that you have obtained. Whether it is 1:1. 1:1 is the minimum ratio. So if it is less than that, you say that it is unsatisfactory. If it is 1:1, say that in interpretation that it is satisfactory. So interpretation you have to write there by comparing this with the result with the ideal ratio. So let us discuss this problem for liquidity ratio. So a balance sheet is given here. You need to calculate liquidity ratio from the given information. The balance sheet is given like this. So first you pick out the current liabilities and the current assets from the list. Can anyone say what are the items that comes under the current assets in the assets side of the balance sheet here? Assets. Under assets, whatever the list is given, that comes under the assets. From this, you have to divide the current assets and the fixed assets. Fixed assets you need not identify. You first identify the current assets. So all this comes here. Stock will come, debtors, cash at bank, cash in hand, prepaid expenses, marketable securities. So you add the amount which is shown beside this stock, debtors, etc. That will give you current assets. And on liabilities side, you can see here creditors is there, bills payable is there. Like that you pick out the so here bank loan is also given here. Okay. So first take list out the amount here. You have to write the given items and given amounts. What given information is must. Okay. So take down this current assets formula. First keep heading calculation of current ratio like that. Okay. So take down the current assets current ratio formula, and what are the things that it is going to be included, you list out under current assets and the current liabilities. I am giving you fast here because we have discussed already, no? So now you sum up the current assets here from the list here. Stock is given, debtors is given, bills payable. How much it is given, that you show here. So here it is missing, the amount is missing, no? You sum up all this. ప్రాబ్లం మీరు పిక్ తీసుకోండి అమ్మా ఒకసారి. తీసుకుంటారా, చేస్తున్నారా? ఇక్కడ ఇది కొంచెం మూవ్ అయిపోయింది అక్కడికి, మనకి అమౌంట్స్ కనిపించట్లా. So now you can see the amounts here clearly. So you take down one by one what are the things that was given here. So 250 is related with stock, no? Stock plus, like that you can write here. Instead of giving this list, you here write first current assets is equal to stock plus debtors plus cash at bank plus cash in hand plus prepaid expenses plus marketable securities. Okay. And then you give here stock is 250, no? 250 plus 125 plus 250 cash at bank, and 125 is cash in hand, and 50 comes under the prepaid expenses, and 125 is marketable securities. So now you can substitute the you can use the calci. All right. Use this calci. Sum up that. How much you are getting? 250 plus 125 plus 250 plus 125 plus 50 plus 125. 925 we got, right? So this 925 is current assets that you show there. And pick out the current liabilities and add there. So creditors plus bills payable plus outstanding expenses that you mention here. Creditors is 200 plus bills payable 50 and outstanding expenses 50, that was not added here. It is missing here. You add that also. That will give you 300 here, not 250. Outstanding is missed here when I was calculating. Okay. Outstanding expenses also add here. So 300 you will get current liabilities. So now substitute these values in the formula here. So current assets is 925 now. So see here 925 divided by 250. So calculate that. 925 divided by 250. So how much you are going to get? 3.7. So 3.7 is the 3.7 is to 1. You write like that. So as I have moved this table this side, you are unable to see the result here. Okay. So you write here equal to 3.7 is to 1 ratio. So interpret that. Give interpretation below this. Okay. How you are going to write the interpretation there? 3.7 means ideal is 2:1. No? We got 3.7 is to 1, right? So give interpretation below this current ratio as when we compare with the ideal ratio, that is 2:1, the calculated current ratio is satisfactory. Okay. So like that you give comment below this ratio. Okay. And coming to the quick ratio, what is the formula here? Quick assets divided by current liabilities. No, already we have identified current liabilities 300 you use here. Okay. So current assets we got here 925. No, you deduct from 925 stock value. What is the stock value here? 250. No, so 250 and the prepaid expenses is 50. 300 you deduct from 925. So that will give you how much? 625. Okay. So current liabilities already we have calculated here. I am not showing again here. So take it as 300 here, not 250. So substitute that here. 625 divided by 250, 300 you take here. So this is missing here because I have moved this table. Okay. I hope you understand. 625 divided by 300 you write here beside this formula. So how much you will get? 625 divided by 300, 625 divided by 300. The result is how much? 2.08 is to 1. We will get the result. Okay. So compare the ideal ratio is, what is the ideal ratio of quick ratio? 1:1. No? So 1:1. So we got 2.08 is to 1. So what is the comment that you are going to write here? Huh? That when we compare the calculated quick ratio with the ideal ratio, that is 1:1, it is satisfactory. Okay, liquidity position of the company is satisfactory. Like that you write. Comment that. Okay. So this is how you are going to calculate the liquidity ratios.